Hello, Internet! It is Wednesday, June 16th, 2010, and I'm officially finished with spring quarter. This quarter, I juggled 18 credits, split between 4 classes, and I passed every one of them. Anyway, today I'd like to share with you, in a rather condensed format, everything I learned in anthropology class. Why? Because anthropology is a boring class, where you sit around and listen to a guy who's dressed like Gandalf give a lecture on stuff. But seriously, I'd say I learned more in this class about myself, the world, and everything in it than I did in any other class ever. Especially the amazing diversity of cultures out there.
Oh my gosh, the world is so diverse, it makes me want to form a human rainbow with people of other ethnicities.
But back to anthropology. Thing I learned number 1. There's no such thing as right and wrong. There's only differences. Yes, this was anthropology, not philosophy class. When I say there's no such thing as right and wrong, I mean that there's no such thing as a proper culture and an improper culture. For example, today in America, we feel that the best way to live is to spend 12 years of your childhood in a thing called school. Then you hopefully go to a thing called college, at which point you've probably moved out of your parents' home entirely, and get yourself a thing called a job, which you use to obtain a thing called money, which is apparently used in a transaction called purchasing, so that you can obtain goods and services and houses and drugs and all that BS. But some cultures get along completely fine without all that stuff. Cultures like, for example, the Kung San of Africa. Yes, that's how you say their name. Kung San. It's got a click in the name. It's an exclamation point. Isn't that awesome? Anyway, the Kung San of Africa don't have any of the stuff we do. They don't have jobs, or money, or internet, or police, or homes, or college, or any of that stuff. And as a result, their lives are much simpler. And when I say simpler, I mean they only work 20 hours a week. A 20-hour work week. That's like half of what we work, right? No! Let's say you work 40 hours a week at a job, right? But when you get home, you're still working. You probably have kids to take care of, food to cook for yourself or others, a house to maintain and pay for, a car to maintain and pay for, a front lawn that needs mowing, friendships to maintain, dishes to clean, etc., etc., etc. When you add it all up, you're probably working about 60 hours a week, or more. Now add those 60 hours to the 56 hours per week that you spend sleeping. You are getting 8 hours of sleep at night, aren't you? And you're left with less than 7.5 hours per day of free time. Compare this with the Kung San, who have more than 13 hours of free time per day. That's more than half a day of free luxury time. And we, with all our technology and society and all that, have less than a third of a day. Granted, in Kung San culture, they don't have anything like the internet, or electric lights, or cars, fireworks, money, soda pop or doors, a school educational system, video games, bicycles, or American Idol. Their culture isn't exactly superior to ours, but it's not inferior either. Because the only reason why we would think that our culture is superior to theirs, or vice versa, is because we grew up in this culture, and it's the only one we know. And the Kung San do live happy lives out on the African plains as simple hunter-gatherer societies. Now I know some of you may be thinking, oh, they're just a bunch of Africans. They just haven't advanced their culture up to the level of us normal people in civilization. But the truth of the matter is, not everyone lives at the same level that we do. And they don't really have to, because, like I said at the beginning, there's no such thing as right and wrong. There's only differences. Peace out!